You are new to our channel, so subscribe to our Bhakti Gujarati channel and like it, and share this video with your family and also with your friends. Today we will know about the knowledge of Mahadev. This subject is endless. Mahadev, Lord Shiva, is not just a deity but the supreme principle of creation, destruction, and liberation, when there was no trace of this universe. When there was neither sky nor water nor fire, when there was neither day nor night, even then there was a single existence, formless, unmoving, changeless, that was Mahadev. He is no form, no body, no name. He was pure existence, where no word, no thought, no imagination can reach. That is where Shiva began. Therefore the meaning of Shiva is, he who is not, and that which is not is he. It is said that when the universe was to expand, there was nothing, only the great void. But within that void, there was an invisible consciousness. That was Shiva. Shiva did not desire, but creation arose on its own from his resolve. He did not speak, but the syllable Omkar Om manifested from his silent sound. He did not stir, but time began to move from his vibration, and from there were born time, direction, fire, air, water, and earth. Therefore it is said, Nada bindu kalatam tasya rupam shivam smrtam. He who is beyond sound, nada, and point, bindu, that form is remembered as Shiva. Now listen, my dear listeners. The knowledge of Mahadev is not found in scriptures, it is found in silence. Because Shiva is the one who speaks even in silence. When the mind is calm, when thoughts cease, a voice comes from within. I am you. This is the first knowledge of Shiva, that the creation and the creator are not separate. Just as a wave and the ocean are one, so are the individual soul, jaye, and Shiva one. But the veil of ignorance divides us. When that veil is lifted, the seeker exclaims, Shivaham, I am Shiva. The secret of Tandava. Why does Mahadev perform the Tandava? Is it anger? Is it destruction? No, my child, no. Tandava is not destruction, but the dance of transformation. Only when the old world ends can a new one be born. Through his Tandava, Shiva teaches us that destruction is also preparation for creation. When old desires, old darkness end within a person, then new light is born inside, and that same Tandava happens within. Therefore Shiva's dance is not outside, it continues within us. The secret of the Ganga, moon, and bhasma, ash. The Ganga flowing in Shiva's matted hair is the symbol of knowledge. The Ganga doesn't come from above, it flows from the Sahasrara, crown chakra. When the mind of the seeker becomes pure, the Ganga of knowledge flows. The moon on the forehead is a symbol of coolness, calmness, because knowledge, if mixed with ego, burns. But when it is joined with humility, it gives coolness. And bhasma, ash reminds us that everything is perishable. Whether king or beggar, in the end, everything turns to ash. Shiva himself smears bhasma because he teaches us that the soul is the truth, not the body. Mahadev's silent teaching. Once Parvati asked, Lord, why do you always remain silent? Shiva smiled and replied, Devi, he who knows does not need to speak, and he who speaks is far from knowing. This is the knowledge of Shiva, to know but not show, to gain but to share, to say everything while remaining silent. The first teaching. Listen, devotees. If you want to find Shiva, do not go to a temple, learn to descend within your own mind. In every breath, in every heartbeat, his Om Namah Shivaya is echoing. Just listen carefully, he is right there within you. Listen, devotees, Shiva was before creation and will remain after the end. His knowledge is in silence, not in speech. Tandava is not destruction, but the dance of rebirth. Ganga is knowledge, the moon is coolness, bhasma is detachment. Shiva is not outside, he is inside. Shiva and Shakti, the secret of Advaita, non-duality. First, we learned that before creation there was only Shiva, formless, unmoving, silent. But now the question arises, if Shiva is complete, inactive, and silent, then where did this creation, this movement, this love, this life come from? This is the secret of Shakti. Shiva is not alone. Shakti is his manifest form. Just as fire and its heat are not separate, just as a flower and its fragrance are not separate, similarly Shiva and Shakti are not two. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Natsedevam Devona Khalu Kushala Spanditumapi, meaning, creation begins only when Shiva is united with Shakti. If there is no Shakti, Shiva himself cannot even move. He remains silent, stable in the void. One day, Mother Parvata asked Mahadev on Kailash, "Lord, if you are omniscient, omnipotent, then who am I?" Shiva smiled. That smile was eternal. He said, "Devi, you are me. You are the Shakti without whom I am not called Mahadev." Listen, devotees, this was the moment when duality began in creation. But even this duality was only a play, Leela. Because in truth, Shiva and Shakti are one, the origin of creation. When Shiva's silence vibrated, when that stability became slightly agitated, then Shakti manifested. That Shakti is the Adi Mata, Adya Shakti, Jagadamba, Parvat, Durga, Kala. She said to Shiva, "Lord, without you, I am incomplete, but with you, I want to become creation." Shiva said, "Go, O Shakti, create the world with your beauty, give life with your vibration, but never forget that I am your foundation." And thus, the stream of creation began. Shakti from Shiva, prana, life force, from Shakti, mind from prana, thought from mind, and from thought, this entire universe. The secret of Advaita. Now the deepest knowledge is hidden here, my devotees. The union of Shiva and Shakti is not just a tale of deities. It is an event that happens within us. When our consciousness, Shiva, and energy, Shakti, meet each other, then the inner yoga is complete. This is called Kundalini awakening. Shiva is in the Sahasrara, crown chakra, at the top of our head, and Shakti is sleeping in the Muladhara, root chakra. When through practice, sadhana, that Shakti rises, she meets her Shiva. In that moment, the seeker experiences, "I am no longer two, I am he, Shivaham." Shakti says, "I will create." Shiva says, "I will remain." Shakti is motion, Shiva is the destination. Shakti is the dance, Shiva is silence. Shakti is time, Shiva is infinity. Shakti is change, Shiva is stillness. Together they create the balance of life. If there were only Shakti, the world would be unstable. If there were only Shiva, the world would be inactive. But when they are both together, then this universe is moving. Once when Shakti took human form, she became Parvat. She performed severe penance, tapas, to attain Mahadev. She stood in the scorching sun. She remained absorbed in meditation in the rain. The gods asked, "Why so much suffering, Mother?" She said, "I am not searching for Shiva. I am searching for myself, because Shiva is not separate from me. Only when I recognize Shiva within myself will I understand the meaning of creation." And then, when her penance was complete, Shiva opened his eyes and said, "Devi, you have not found me. Rather, you have found yourself. Now we are not two. We are one." This is the essence of Advaita, Shiva and Shakti within us. Listen, devotees, every man has Shiva, stability, discrimination, silence. And every woman has Shakti, love, creation, compassion. But when these two are balanced within oneself, then life is complete. When someone gets angry, the Shakti is unbalanced. When someone is lazy, the balance of Shiva is lost. Therefore, sadhana is simply to maintain the union of the inner Shiva and the inner Shakti. Shiva and Shakti are not two, but two aspects of the same consciousness. Shiva is consciousness, Shakti is energy. Creation began when Shakti touched Shiva's silence. Kundalini awakening is the inner union of Advaita. Parvata's penance is a symbol of self-discovery. Balance is the worship of Shiva Shakti. Shiva Shaktyatmakam Vishvam Yat Kinchit Sakarakaram Tatsarvam Trailokyanatam Namami Parameshvaram. Every creature, every particle, every thought is the form of Shiva and Shakti. Do not search for them outside. Look in your heart. That is the true Kailash. Mahadev resides there. Mahatandava, the great Tandava. Now listen. In the stillness of Kailash, when Mahadev dances, the gods tremble with fear. The sounds of the Gandharvas' venas, lutes, fall silent, and a vibration spreads through every particle of creation. That dance is the Mahatandava. People say, Shiva has become angry. That's why he performs the Tandava. But, O devotees, Tandava is not just anger, it is the wondrous dance of life and death. It teaches us that every beginning in creation is impossible without destruction. The origin of Tandava. The story says, when Satru gave up her life in her father Daksha's sacrifice, Shiva's heart was torn apart. His love turned into fire, his pain became a vibration. He lifted Satru's burnt body and began to dance. That dance was of destruction, separation, and truth. The gods, the sages, everyone was afraid because where Shiva dances, the movement of the cosmos changes. Vishnu severed Satru's body with the Sudarshana chakra so that Shiva's sorrow could subside. The parts of the body fell on earth, and there the Shakti Pithas were formed. But devotees, this is not just a story, it is a symbol. When love breaks within us, when ego burns, when the old I dies, then Tandava happens inside as well. That is not pain, it is the dance of transformation. Mahadev says, I do not destroy, I transform. Just as a farmer plows the field, cuts the old plant so that a new crop can grow. Similarly, Shiva breaks old boundaries so that a new consciousness can be born. When he plays the damaru, drum, it is not just music. It is the cosmic formula of creation. The sound that emanates from both ends of the damaru is the sound of Om. That sound spreads throughout the universe and keeps the cycle of life moving. Listen, devotees. Shiva's Tandava teaches us that death is not the end, it is the beginning. When the body ends, the soul enters a new form, liberated. Shiva is called Mahakala, the great time, because he is the master even of time. He does not destroy time, he is beyond time. For one who knows Shiva, death is just like changing clothes. He says, I was neither born nor will I die. I am the same consciousness that always remains. This knowledge is the deepest message of Mahadev. Listen, devotees, now look at the form of Nataraja, the lord of the dance. In one hand is the damaru, the sound of creation. In the other is fire, the flame of destruction. A third hand gives blessings. Do not fear, I am here. And the fourth hand points down, crush the ego. He is pressing down on apasmara, ignorance, with one foot, and the other foot is raised, the symbol of liberation. This is the complete philosophy of the universe: creation, preservation, destruction, concealment, and grace. Applying the message of Tandava to life. Tandava happens in all our lives too. Sometimes a job is lost, sometimes a relationship breaks, sometimes health declines, and we feel it's all over. Steps of dhyan, meditation. Now the question arises, how do we meditate? Shiva himself answers, meditation does not begin with a posture, asan. It begins with surrender. E1 first step, acceptance. Accept the unrest of your mind. Don't fight it, just observe it. 2 second step, breath. Listen to your breath. With every breath, take Shiva's name, Om Namah Shivaya. And 3rd step, silence, maun. Speak less, listen more. Silence is the root of meditation. 4th step, be present. Whatever you do it with full consciousness. Be it walking, eating, or working. Remember Shiva in every action. 5th step, dissolution, visarjan. When the mind becomes still, dissolve your existence into Shiva. That is the gateway to samadhi, superconsciousness. Listen, devotees, what does the silence of Kailash teach? Kailash teaches us that peace is the greatest strength. That which is the most stable in the world is the most powerful. Shiva is stable like a mountain, yet the entire cosmos revolves within that stability. He says, do not strive to conquer the world, conquer your own mind. For the one who has conquered the mind becomes the master of the entire universe. The story of Samadhi, the tale of Bhasmasura. Once, a demon named Bhasmasura asked a boon from Shiva, whosoever's head I place my hand upon shall turn to ashes, bhasm. Shiva granted the boon. But when Bhasmasura decided to test it on Shiva himself, Vishnu took the form of Mohini and deluded him, and Bhasmasura turned to ashes himself. Devotees, this story is not just about a demon, it is about our mind. Bhasmasura is the ego that arises during meditation. When we perform spiritual practice, sadhana, a voice comes from within, I am great, and this ego burns the seeker to ashes. True meditation of Shiva happens when the seeker becomes humble. When he says, "O Lord, I know nothing. You are the knowledge, you are the knower." The stillness of Kailash, the door to self-knowledge. There is no noise on Kailash, no commerce, no conflict. There is only silence, and within that silence are the answers to all questions. The seeker who finds Kailash within himself goes beyond even death. For him, life becomes a divine play, Leela. He laughs while crying and smiles while weeping, what you understand as destructi. Because he knows everything is the dance of Shiva. Kailash is not an external but an internal mountain. The meaning of dhyan is to observe the mind, not to stop it. In samadhi, the seeker and the supreme become one. 5 steps of dhyan: acceptance, breath, silence, presence, dissolution. Silence is the very nature of Shiva. Ego, Bhasmasura, is the biggest enemy of meditation. When Kailash awakens within, life becomes liberation, moksha. Shantam Shivam Advaitam Satyam. The one who is in peace is Shiva. The one who is in Shiva is the truth. Give us that silence where the mind stops, where only you remain, and everything else turns to ashes. Now listen, Shiva and Bhakti, devotion. The supreme form of love. Mahadev is the god of yoga, the god of knowledge, but first and foremost, he is the god of love. His devotion is not attained through severe penance, but through true love. The one who worships Shiva only out of fear knows him only partially. But the one who calls upon him with love resides in Shiva's own heart. The meaning of bhakti, the feeling of surrender through love. Once Parvatiji asked, "Lord, how can a devotee attain you? Must one perform difficult sadhana or chant some profound mantra?" Shiva smiled. "Devi, the one who loves me, has already attained me." Bhakti means not asking, only believing, not calculating, only surrendering. When a devotee says Om Namah Shivaya, it is not a word, but the vibration of love. Shiva says, "I manifest not from the mantra, but from the emotion, bhav, of the devotee." The devotion of Ravana. Now listen, devotees, the story of Ravana. Ravana, the king of Lanka, was a highly learned Brahmin. He was a great devotee of Shiva. He offered his 10 heads to please Shiva. Shiva was pleased and said, "Ravana, you did not give heads, you gave up your ego. Therefore I will call you Ravaneshwar." But when the same Ravana became arrogant due to his knowledge and power, that very boon of Shiva became the cause of his downfall. This teaches us, bhakti is fruitful only as long as love is humble. The moment ego enters, devotion withers. Why is Shiva called Bholanath? Because he is pleased by emotion, bhav, not by outward show. There is no distinction in his court. Devas, gods, come, asuras, demons come, ghosts and spirits, as well as sages. He accepts everyone because he does not seek the outer form, he seeks the truth of the heart. Once, a hunter, while chasing a deer in the forest, accidentally spilled water on a shivling. He was not performing worship, yet the act of devotion happened unknowingly. Shiva was so pleased that he granted him moksha. In devotion, feeling, bhavana, is essential, not necessarily a resolve, sankalp. Listen to the story of Bhakta Markandeya. Once, Yama, the god of death, came to take the life of a young boy named Markandeya. But he was a supreme devotee of Shiva. He clung to the shivling and said, "O Mahadev, how can death touch your devotee?" Shiva immediately manifested, stopped Yama with his trident, Trishul, and said, "Even-time Kaal cannot touch my devotee." From that day, Shiva was called Kalantaka, the one who vanquishes even death. Bhakti holds such power that it can stop time itself. Listen, many people think, is knowledge, gyan, greater, or devotion, bhakti? Shiva says, knowledge without devotion is dry, and devotion without knowledge is blind. Both are complementary to each other. Knowledge gives direction. Devotion gives momentum. Knowledge tells you who Shiva is. Bhakti makes you experience that Shiva is mine. When both meet, the seeker sings from within, Tvameva mata chapita tvameva, tvameva bandhushcha sacha tvameva. The devotion of Nandi Nandi is not merely the vehicle of Mahadev. but his disciple and supreme devotee. It is said that Nandi's attention is always fixed at Shiva's feet. He never turns his back, always keeping his face towards the shivling. This means the true devotee is the one who faces God in every situation. Be it sorrow or joy, his focus remains only on the Lord. Listen, the importance of hearing, shravan, and chanting, kirtan, in bhakti is not just meditation. Hearing and singing are also devotion. When someone sings Shiva's name with love, that devotional sound, nad, spreads throughout the cosmos. Once Narada Muni said, "Lord, where should I search for you?" Shiva replied, "Wherever my name is sung with love, I manifest myself there." Therefore, when we say Har Har Mahadev, it is not just a cheer, but an invocation to call Shiva into our heart. The secret of bhakti, dissolution of love. True devotion means forgetting the self. When the distinction between the devotee and God dissolves,